Hello there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter, with the review many of you have been waiting for with bated breath, I think, because I don't know, maybe not. But this is the review of the brand new Caran NeoArt 6901 Lightfast Wax Oil Pastels. And I'm actually refilming this intro because I had it all scheduled and ready to go today, but I received a response from Caran customer service and I didn't feel like my original review was fair because I was kind of hard on them for not responding to my customer query. But they did respond. It took them about a week. They apologized for the long wait. And so I wanted to refilm it to be a little bit more fair because honestly the only qualm I had with this line of products was the fact that I hadn't had my questions answered from customer service. So I'm going to start this review with the kind of overall final thoughts. So if you're just here for that, you can get it and get on your way. But following this portion, you will see the unboxing, the swatching out, the comparison between these and the NeoArt 1 range of wax pastels from Caran, and then yeah, so that way you can kind of see if you have the NeoArt ones, if you have the Prismacolor art sticks, if you're wondering where you can augment your selection of colors, or maybe you want to replace some of the discontinued art sticks with similar colors, you'll be able to get all that information further on in the video. But it's a long video, so I didn't want you to have to sit through the whole thing. In my swatch card here, I have swatched out the NeoArt pastels, and I also swatched out the comparable Luminance colors. Now 44 of the colors match the NeoArts by number, so it's really easy to pick a matching color. Say you're doing an artwork like I did with this. I'm doing this this painting, I'm blocking in with the crayons, but I want to get some detail with the pencils. You can know exactly which is the same color. Now I'll tell you that I actually had it worked pretty well with the Luminance pencils, but I have to say I did have better luck with a softer pencil on top of these wax pastels. So using my wax-based pencils like Prismacolor that are very soft laid down on these crayons much easier. But I also found that to be the case with the NeoArt, the Neocolor 1 crayons as well. So they do work, but you don't have to have the Luminance. These are going to work with whatever. Now, one of the reasons you might want to stick with the Luminance range with these NeoArts, not only for the matching capability, but because they are also a Lightfast product, and you have that assurance that they've been tested by the ASTM in the Arizona sunshine that they are not going to fade. So the matching I thought was pretty good between the Luminance and the NeoArts. There were a few colors that, while they matched by numbers, they were not exact matches, and that could be due to a heavier wax proportion in the crayons to make them a little bit softer. So in like this this kind of tealy color, the Luminance was about a shade darker and more saturated than the crayon. Also in this ultramarine blue, and this violet here. So it seems like those cool tones, there were a few colors that were just slightly different. This green maybe a smidgen different, but overall I thought that the matches were really good. And feel-wise, the Luminance pencils felt a little bit more chalky compared to the creaminess of the NeoArt pencils. And using these over the course of 3 artworks, which I'll show you in a moment, they felt the same to the NeoArt ones. At first, these felt harder, but I think it's only due to the fact that they were a fresh, blunt edge. And when I was comparing them with the Neocolor, which have a sharpened edge, and plus I've used them for a while, so they're rounded over, they felt softer. But as I started to wear these down and use them more, these felt just as soft as the NeoArt. So I don't think there's a huge difference in the formulation other than the testing and making sure that the pencils are, the pastels are Lightfast. Now, if you are curious about this type of product, but you're not ready to splash out that much money because you're not sure if you're going to like it, what I would recommend doing is purchasing this right here. This is the 15 Swiscolor pastels. These are at Blick for around $10.40. I think that the 15 set is the same price as the 10 set. So get the 15 set. If you're not sure, use these. You'll know if you like them or not. Because I don't think these are going to give you a difference in performance. Obviously, these have not been Lightfast ASTM 1 Lightfast tested, but they'll give you an idea of of if you like this type of material or not. And if you get these and you use them, you're like, I don't think I really want to go further down this road. I don't really like them that much. Then skip these. You're not going to like these. But if you're using these, you're like, oh, I love these. I wish I had more colors. I wish they were Lightfast. I wish I could use them in my final artworks. Then, you know, yeah, go ahead, buy these. You're not going to be disappointed. I love crayons. I love pastels. I love that sort of media. So that sort of immediacy. These kind of feel like a China marker. If you've ever used a China marker where you like peel back the paper, kind of like, well, not this particular, but this is like kind of the style where they've got those peel back paper. Not this is a Crayola crayon. Actually, they're kind of fun, but it's a poster crayon. But the China markers, that's what these kind of feel like. But you've got that Lightfast assurance, which is really what you're paying for here. So I asked them, are you planning on expanding the range, or are you going to leave it at 48 colors? And I'll read verbatim to their answer here. They said, I said, do you plan to expand the line to more than 48 colors? And they answered, yes, we initially launched with 48 colors, but our goal is to expand the range over time. So it's probably going to be dependent on how well these sell, just like any brand. They're not going to expand a line if it's not selling well. But if people like it and they use it and their demand is there, that's a great sign. Because sometimes, like when Prismacolor came out with the art Stix, they did 48 and that was it. They never expanded beyond that. Their 48 most popular colors. So this is really encouraging to me, because as someone who loves that sort of thing, I like the look of colored pencil, but it takes so long to do a colored pencil artwork. Being able to lay down a base with a crayon and then go over with colored pencil is really my cup of tea. I asked them, are you discontinuing the Neocolor 1 pastels? Because I thought these are so similar, and if the Neocolor 1s are really have that great lightfastness, then they're probably not going to keep both. That doesn't make sense. But they said the NeoArt line was introduced to offer a new type of pastel that combines the richness of oil with the smoothness of wax while meeting the ASTM D6901 standard for lightfastness. We are keeping our Neocolor 1 in our fine arts offer. So no plans to discontinue the Neocolor 1. So if you were thinking about panic buying the Neocolor 1 sets or buying a bunch of extras just in case, you probably don't have to do that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You have to do what you feel is right for you. And I know Amazon set a great price on the Neocolor 1 line, and the Want Monster has said, get a backup, Lindsay, but we don't need to get backups, it seems like, so that's good. And the other question I asked them was, I noticed when comparing the Neocolor 1 to the NeoArt that the Neocolor 1 pastels had good to excellent Lightfast ratings. Can you tell me what the 3-star rating in Neocolor 1 would equal in the Blue Will or ASTM Lightfastness scales? So they replied, the rating system are not directly comparable. The star rating system is based on the Blue Will scale, which originates from the textile industry, whereas the ASTM D6901 follows a much stricter standard. A Lightfastness 2 LF2 rating in NeoArt is superior to a 3-star rating in other systems. So they're saying that the worst rating on these, which is a LF2, is better than the 3-star, than the excellent rating in the NeoArt 1. That's what they said. That's all I can stipulate there. What I was thinking, let me just grab, I'm gonna see if I can pull up this box here. What I always thought, and obviously this is just an opinion, it's not a fact because I don't work for these companies, but if I do get clarification from them, I will put it in the video description, because I did ask, I said it was my assumption that if it was a scale of 1 to 3, with 1 being good and 3 being excellent, that a 3 would be like a Blue Wool 7-8, a good would be, a pretty good or very good would be a Blue Wool 5 or 6, and a good would be a Blue Wool 3 or 4. That was my assumption, so I asked them if that's the case, and if they reply to me, I will put that in the video description. But here they have, see, 3 stars excellent, 2 stars very good, 1 star good. Now on a Blue Wool scale, a 1 is fugitive, a 2 is still pretty fugitive, and a 3 is like good but not like great. So I wouldn't think that it would be equivalent to that, because I think our stuff would just be fading. Anything that's on a 3-star system would just be fading right off the bat, but that's not the case. But anyway, when we're looking through the Neocolor 1 range, Ultramarine has a poor light fastness of 1, or they call it good. But here we have an ultramarine of a lightfastness of 1, which is, they're excellent. So what they're saying is that all of these 3-star colors here are actually not as good as the LF2 in the NeoArt. So they're saying these are a complete step above. So I just want to clarify that, because that's right direct from the horse's mouth. That's exactly from Caran what I got from them. I think I would personally feel pretty comfortable using any of the excellent rated crayons here. In my sketchbook I'll use whatever, but I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. And I did see somebody else's review of the Swiscolor crayons, and they said they heard from Caran that the Neocolor ones are Lightfast, where the Swiscolors are not Lightfast, which honestly, I don't know. I think because you're looking at these, like, retail price, each stick would cost about $1, and these are half the size of a Neocolor one, so I would think they're kind of like a half stick offering, just like the Neocolor 2 and the water soluble Swiscolors. I don't think it makes sense to do a whole other run to make less Lightfast crayons when they perform and swatch out identically. I don't know, but there you have it. I just wanted to give you what I got from Caran. My opinion on these is, if you like crayons, if you want a Lightfast crayon, these are great. This is how I kind of like to use them, in this kind of sketchy, grainy fashion. I had so much fun playing with this. This is a very smooth paper too, and you can see how vibrantly they lay down the color. This is a sand grain paper. It's the Canson XL sand grain, and I didn't like using them on this as much. I felt like it took a lot more work to fill the tooth. Where I love this for oil pastels, I do not love that as much for these crayons, because they're so pigmented. I got enough color down on this really smooth paper, and that's going to make your crayons wear down less too, because you don't have to fill in so much grain of the paper. So this would be my, I would actually recommend a smooth drawing paper for this because of how pigmented they are. Generally for oil pastels, I recommend the Canson sand grain paper. And then this was kind of my first experimentation with the crayons, and I absolutely loved how they worked. I loved how much color I was able to get down. I love the texture of the line. There is a bit of a crumbliness to them, not really like a dustiness, kind of like color pencil would give you. I really liked how I could sketch quickly and I like the grain. I like the expressiveness that it conveyed, much more in this style, like the style of this and this, more so than the style of that, or this where I blended it out. I like the immediacy of it. And I think you just have to decide, how do you like to use your products? Is it going to give you the look that you want? Yes, you can get a very smooth look by layering up and blending, but you're going to sacrifice a bit of detail, so you will need to probably go in with your colored pencils to sharpen up the edges. But for me, for my style, I absolutely love these. I do have a time-lapse of this on my YouTube channel. I have a real-time version of this in Critique Club if you want to check it out. But I'm very pleased with my purchase. I am sure I will buy the extra colors as they come out, because for me, this type of media really works with my style of creating artwork. It may or may not for you. We're all different artists, but as far as quality wise and bang for your buck, I figured the volume of these pencils in cubic millimeters. So what I did was I took a caliper and I measured out the length and girth, and also for the NeoArt pastels, the Neocolor pastels, and the Luminance lead. And so let me just show you an example here. So this is the NeoArt versus the Neocolor one. You can kind of see how the Neocolor one's a little bit smaller. So by volume, you're going to get 4,349.59 cubic millimeters of product here. You're going to get 5,818.86 cubic millimeters here. And with a Luminance pencil, which, I can grab one. I was thinking I just put them away, but the box is right here. A brand new Luminance pencil that hasn't been sharpened down yet, that would have 1,984.7 cubic millimeters of lead. But when you sharpen the lead, you probably reduce it by about 50%. So you are probably a little closer to 1,000 or a quarter of the pigment that you would get in your pencil. So bang for your buck, you're getting much more for your money, considering this retails for $3.10 and this retails for $4.80. If you're shopping on Blick, this will cost you $3.10 without a coupon, and this will cost you $3.84 without a coupon. Of course, this isn't coupon eligible. This is, so you could get this for like $2.79, $2.69, somewhere around there. So this is more bang for your buck. Like pigment wise, like what you're paying for, you're getting much more for your money with the pastel than with the pencil. Of course, there's more labor involved in creating a pencil. You've got to have the wood casing, you've got to have the printing. It's a much more in-depth, costly process. But for my money, I would do the majority of it with a crayon, and then I would go tidy up with a pencil. But we're all different. We're all different people. We all like different things. But I thought it was really interesting to see like what these cost versus like kind of your bang for your buck. So for $3.10, you're getting, you know, 4,349 cubic millimeters of product. For $2, you're getting, or $2.50 if you're buying it full price. Blick sells it for $2. You're getting 5,818.86 cubic millimeters of product, and for $3.84, you're getting 1,984.7 cubic millimeters of product. So I don't know. I'm a nerd, and I thought that was kind of interesting. So value-wise, I think they're a good value. I don't think they're overpriced. I don't know if that's if their price is going to stay what they are, but that's the retail price. They usually don't come out with the retail price and then jack it up. It's usually they come out with the retail price, and then they usually, different stores will have the ability to discount it. So hopefully that's the case. Maybe these will drop in price when they get moved into the sale category on Blick. I don't know. But if you want to run out and grab them, I don't think they're overpriced, to be honest. I mean, pastels generally cost quite a bit. And I'm pretty happy with these. I would not call these an oil pastel. These do not feel like an oil pastel. They don't feel like any more like an oil pastel as a Neocolor 1 or a Neocolor 2 does. They feel identical to a Neocolor 1 once you wear down the sharp edges. So hopefully that gives you enough information to base your opinion on whether or not you want to try any of these. Pick up a few open stock. If you watch on further to the full swatching, I'll be swatching on craft paper, and we'll be comparing them to the Neocolor ones, so you can see if you already have these, what colors you may want to add, because they do have a greater range of grays and earth tones and more kind of sophisticated colors, not to mention a Lightfast version of the ultramarine blue, which I think is worthwhile, and some Lightfast violets and pinks. But if we want to take Caran d'Ache at their word, even the worst rated NeoArt are better than the best rated Neocolor ones. So take that for what it's worth, and enjoy the rest of the video. And look what came in the mail today. I ordered NeoArt crayons. They are the fanciest crayons I've ever ordered. They are from Caran d'Ache. They were just released, and I went over to Blick, and I had a coupon for 10% off. If it's still valid, I'll put it in the video description. But it made these crayons be $2.79 each, which is probably, you're probably thinking that's the sale price. Yeah, the regular $3.10. Some stores have these in stock. They were just released last week, and I really can't wait to use them. I bought them open stock because they were cheaper to buy the colors open stock than they were in sets, and I don't really care if I have the box or not, because I'll just put it in one of the trays of my drawers. But we're gonna try them out and see what we think. I also got a refill for one of the Copic markers, my only one that was getting dry. And luckily dry out of use and not dry out of just drying up like some other things do. And I ordered this because I found some watercolor paper that's gone by. Look how small this bottle is. I thought this bottle was going to be bigger because it's $11.44. And I think the list price on this is like, I don't know, like $16 or something. But this is something you can paint on your watercolor paper and restore the sizing if it's gone bad. So for like the expensive papers, oddly enough, my old Arches paper that's really old, like 20 years old, still fine if I pull a sheet out of that and use it, but it's like the newer stuff. It doesn't seem to be holding up more than a couple of years. So don't overbuy your watercolor paper, friends. Just don't. Let me be a cautionary tale. I just spent way too much money on crayons. I really have no business telling anybody how to spend their money, but we're going to take a look at these. We're going to compare them and do some other similar products and see what we think. So let's just get all these out of the box and take a look. So this is how they packaged them up. I did buy all the colors because I have a mental illness that makes me collect fancy crayons apparently. And this is how they came, these cute little boxes, which probably could be repurposed into something. I don't think I'll store them in that. I think I'll store them in one of my, let's see if I have an empty one of these meat-in trays. So hold on, I'll set that right there so we can decant them. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. They have little stickers on them, I guess, so that they don't slide out and fall out of the box, which is Nice. And then you just slide out the little thing here. It's kind of like a matchbox, actually. I bet we could craft with these. Oh, and I got my favorite colors right off the bat. These are seriously dinky. These are so small. Oh my gosh. They are tiny. They're tiny. I've got the Swiscolor crayons from Caran. They're the kids version of like the Neocolor ones. I'm just going to see what the size is comparatively. They're bigger than a Swiscolor. They're bigger. They're bigger than the Swiscolor. Oh, I'm dropping stuff. Let me grab a Neocolor one and see how big they are compared to the Neocolor ones. I really enjoy these. I used these the other day because I was like, waiting for those colors to come, and I was so impatient. So let's just see. And Neocolor ones are $2 a piece. So the Neocolor ones are a little bit smaller in girth, but they are a fair bit longer. So let's get my ruler here. The Neocolor ones, whoops, wrong end of the thing. Neocolor ones are about 4 inches long. And the new NeoArt, which are Lightfast fancy crayons, are 2 5/8 inches long. All right, so I'm thinking maybe we'll just take these all out and put them in our little tray, and then so I just want to do some art with them, honestly. I'm going to want to do art with them before I even swatch them. Oh, you don't have to slide them out. I can leave the sticker on there. Get the black, white, and gray. Some browns. Oh my gosh. I've been so excited for these to arrive. It was a viewer that told me about these on it must have been like, it was either Friday or Saturday, and I am like, what? I hadn't heard about this. So I investigated, and I was like, oh, I think I want to order some. So yeah, there's not much out about them because they just have been released, and obviously I want to make up my own mind before I seek out too much information. Lightfast crayon, that's really all I needed to know. But I was seriously surprised at how small they were. I mean, I'd seen pictures online, but I just thought they would be bigger. But I often will find that with pastels because, oh, you know what? I could probably find a Neo pastel here. Let's see how big they are compared to the Neo pastels. Oh, they're maybe just a little smidgen smaller than the Neo pastels. I really like the Neo pastels. I bought like, I think about 10 of them open stock at a shop and fell in love, and then I ordered the full set. So see, I have a problem with fancy crayons. Please take any advice I give you about purchasing art supplies with a grain of salt, because apparently I am an addict, but that's okay. How often does an actually, like, a legacy art company, I don't know why I'm putting them the way I am in here. I mean, how often does a legacy art company actually produce a new product? This one's a little chipped, but it's still going to color fine. Chipped crayons still color. Well, these are some pretty grays. We got a white, really soft gray. What's that called? Oh, they got the little areas where you can pull the wrapper off, which is nice. I like that about the Caran products. It's easy to peel down when you need to. I like these little boxes. I could always, there's all kinds of things you do with those boxes. I have no idea what I will do with them, if I will keep them. Very, very pretty colors. Can't wait to put them in color order. That's going to be fun. I wouldn't have that fun if I bought the set, because the set would come in color order. So this will be fun. Ooh, look at these earth tones. There's no odor. They don't smell like that box of crayons. That, you know the good fresh box of crayon smell? Ooh, gosh, look at those colors. Look at this color palette here. Those colors look really pretty together. Feel free to jump ahead until I do something interesting. I don't blame you. I'm just, I figured why not? People like an unboxing, right? People like to see. like an unboxing and I'm a slave to the algorithm. Plus I have to financially recover from buying all these crayons, so I'm hoping some ads get shown. Oh gosh, that's a pretty color palette too, those three together. And oh, this is a pretty color palette with the way they put these three together. Oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, let's do some sorting by color. I'm gonna start with red and kind of go around the rainbow, and that way I can make sure that I don't have any duplicates and that everything is hunky-dory. I wonder if they're probably numbered. Oh my gosh, I feel like I need to put my reading glasses on. Let's see. I'm just seeing, let's see, let's see, 350 is the last numbers there, 671. Yeah, I guess they have numbers on them. Do they correspond like in spectrum order? I don't think they do. So I'm not gonna worry about what the numbers are. Okay, those are earth tones. Let's see, then we'll go to oranges. Oh, should I put the browns in with the oranges? Because oranges are kind of like desaturated browns. I might change my mind. Yeah, I have this kind of like issue with boxes because I'm a box addict as well as a fancy crayon addict, and I have a hard time getting rid of a box that, like the packaging that some things come in sometimes, but the packaging that things come in, oh, Caran d'Ache does a good job on the packaging, but a lot of times the packaging that things come in is not as useful as like a drawer like this, for instance. In fact, I could put all my crayons in these boxes, but then look at this, I got this beautiful red tin, so I don't want to take those out of the beautiful red tin. See, this is where my system falls apart, but I also like being able to grab a tin and just having everything from that collection together. I don't like the Caran d'Ache Luminance pencils and like the Derwent Lightfast pencils, actually all the Derwent pencils, they have just like a little flash of color at the end and the whole barrels aren't colored, so I leave them in the trays because I find it too difficult to figure out what color's what at a glance if I have them in jars with like the tips up, because then I just have a little bit of lead. So yeah, finding the perfect system to store everything is definitely something I'm always working at. That looks like it might be black or purple. Dark indigo. Oh, that's fancy. Let's see. So we got our cool greeny blues, and we'll go into more violet blues, and then into violets. I think I might just end up with all my neutrals together. Oh gosh, look at that pretty yellow. That is called Primrose. Oh, that's the one that was a little chippy. But I like that color. That's really nice. I think, yeah, I guess, what are they calling that? Sanguine. Yeah, that's a little bit more of a neutral. Oh, what's that? That looks like a nice pine green. What's that called? Dark phthalo green. I think that needs to go right there. Do you like to sort things by color? I find that so very soothing to do. My self-soothing. Oh my word, I swear. I've been doing a lot of soothing art purchasing lately. What is that color? That's bismuth. You know what this is? This is bismuth white. But as I've been putting all these colors down, this doesn't look white to me. This looks more like pale cream green color. Like, and this looks white. Is that white? No, that's white. And this is like a bismuth white, but to me it looks like an ivory or even like a slightly green. Like Prismacolor has this color right here. It's called gray green light. Very similar. This one might be a little more yellow, but very similar. That'll be interesting because I really like the Neocolor ones with my Prismacolor pencils. I think they work really well together. They're very similar creaminess or creaminess, softness. So I'm wondering how these are going to feel next to Prismacolors, next to Luminance, next to Derwent Lightfast. But they are all on the Lightfast scale, so they're either Lightfast 1 or Lightfast 2. So they're all supposed to be 100 plus years of Lightfastness, so that's kind of exciting. Let's see, I'm now going to start going kind of up the scale warmness wise. What is this? This is black. Oh, I guess I'll put black next to white, and then I'll know I'm kind of working towards the warmer end of things. I love seeing the differences in like just like the shades of taupe. There's a lot of really nice neutrals in this set. What is that? Raw umber. That's got a nice green undertone to it. This is a yellow ochre or something. Ochre. A nice yellow undertone. This one's actually saffron is quite orange, so that's going to go over there. We'll just put, actually we'll put this reddish. I love that. That is burnt sienna. Now, and we'll put these guys right here. Look at that, I only took half the little drawer. I love that. I could actually even just squeeze them in like that if I wanted to, save space. I like to save space. But also, I like things to be easy to remove, so yeah, we'll leave it like this for right now, since I don't need the space. Oh, let's do some swatching. I'm going to use my Tone Tan sketchbook because I've been using that. Oh, and I'll show you a sketch I did the other day with Neocolors. I use the Neocolor ones and the Prismacolor art sticks on this and some Prismacolor pencil. But just, I was using those because I was like, oh, I'm so excited for these, so let me use something that's similar. And now, if I was smart, I would just be like, let's get the Want Monster, play with these, and maybe you won't want to order them. But I had quite a few requests. Okay, I only knew about them from one person that wanted a request, but then several other has come in since then, so I'm doing a good turn for my community. See, that's how you justify spending way too much money on fancy crayons. Follow me for more tips if you need to justify your purchases. Okay, I'm gonna swatch them in rainbow order. I'm so excited! Oh my god! I don't know if I'll get the whole review done in this because I gotta do some artwork with them, and I got a new plant for Valentine's Day, and I'm thinking, ooh, I'll do a little sketchy sketch of the new plant, I think. It's just so pretty. It's so pretty, I love it. I want them this way. Let's move it. Let's do this. Let's do this. I've got like so much stuff on my table currently. There we go. Let's zoom in. Let's get cozy. Let's get cozy. There we go. All right, we're going to start off with Rose Violet, or Violet Pink. Oh, I like this. This is nice. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I like that. Oh, I love it. Oh, they're smooth. They're smooth. They're firm, but they're very smooth. You know what would be a good idea? I think maybe I'm just kind of wondering if I should swatch out the Neocolor ones while I'm at it, just to kind of get a feel for how similar they are. So why don't I do, before I get too ahead of myself, let's write NeoArt. Let's do Neo 1, and then I'll need another column, I'm sure. I don't even know if I'll be able to get this all on one page, but so I have a set of 40 Neocolor ones, so we can kind of swatch what's the closest, and then we can see. So these are longer. They may be a little bit more comfortable to hold. I think they feel a little differently just because like the tip's kind of rounded. You know what? I should swatch from the back end because the back end would be a little bit more like... And of course, I've had these for a while. So, Lindsay, why are they so long? You should be using them more. I know, I know. So is there I think there's Lightfast ratings on these, aren't there? Oh, you know what? The Lightfast ratings are on here. And excellent is 3 stars, 2 stars very good, 1 star good. I don't know what their excellent would... Oh, wait, UV/150 hours. So that must be whatever the photometer they use. So take it with a grain of salt, but it was saying pink is one of their excellent colors. So interesting. It's more vibrant than that, but this is a more sophisticated color. I'm glad. That's the thing. I was really, oh, I should probably also do like a really firm swatch. I was really curious about if there used to be more Neocolors in the Neocolor 1 line like there were in the Neocolor 2 line. I feel like the NeoArts are a little bit more matte and a little bit more opaque. Okay, let me go back. Did I skip a color? I think I went to this one, right? This is Perylene Maroon, right? A little bit of crumbliness on that. That one looks like it's going to be pretty transparent. I'm doing a tone paper. I just like, I don't know, I love crayons on tone paper. So let me see, what do I have similar to that? Probably this one right here. This is probably the closest I'll get to that. And this is alizarin, crimson alizarin hue. First I'll do the light swatch. It could be the age of my crayons. It does feel a little bit drier. Oh, you know what? I should also do the art sticks. Okay. I think I have room to sneak a little art sticks. Now you can't get art sticks anymore, but since I am so extra, I have art sticks. Ooh, you know what? Gosh, they feel a lot like the art sticks. And let's see, that one is probably similar to this color here. This is one I used in that champagne bottle. Art sticks might be a little bit drier. All right, next color we have is purplish red. I'll start with the... I love the density of the color though. I love how I can fill in. Now this is a smooth paper. Oh, it's just got a really nice feel to it. And now let's find a color. This is probably pretty close to this. Well, let's do the Caran first. This one looks real close. This is purple. I think that the Neo ones feel a little bit waxier. I'm just gonna try to tip it. But I think the sheen is about the same. Sheen actually might even be a little bit higher there. It'll probably depend on the color too. And then we've got this color here from Art Stix. You're probably thinking, Lindsay, those all look the same. You just wasted your money. Gosh, this feels very similar. But I don't feel that way because I like fancy crayons. Don't judge me. All right, what do we have here? We have anthraquinone carmine. Oh, look at that red. That's my kind of red right there. You get a little crumbling. Let's find a similar one. I think that's pretty close. That feels very similar. And then probably this red is the closest that I have in an art stick. But you know what? They're not perfect matches, and I like that because I'll use them all together. Although the NeoArts will be light fast, and anything I pull from the others might not be so light fast. So looking at this though, a lot of these have the 3 stars. So they're not that bad. We've got a yellow green that's a 2-star. We've got a periwinkle blue that's a 2-star. The ultramarine, oddly, is a 1-star, which ultramarine is usually a pretty good... Both their ultramarines are 1-star. So having ultramarines in the Neo 1, I mean in the Neo Art line would be good. So you could even go through your swatch if you have this set and be like, I really wish I had some of these colors more light fast and just buy those ones. So that's an option too. I'm feeling that the art sticks are a little less opaque and maybe less pigmented, but less opaque anyway. Next color we have, this is a gorgeous red too, Scarlet. They feel very smooth to me. And it could just be this paper. but I like it. And then this color, oh, let's go with a, is this Scarlet? Yeah, this is Scarlet in the Neocolor one. I'm just wondering if it might be the age of these pastels, because just like side by side, the NeoArts feel a little bit smoother to me, but you know, it's really hard to say when you're looking at stuff that was made at different times. That one looks much more orangey, but that's all right. I'm glad their colors are different because I don't want to have all the same colors. I think out of the three, the art sticks are the ones that I probably like the least. All right, next up, we've got this gorgeous permanent red. It's like they're kind of waxy and kind of dry. I love it. This color is called Light Cadmium Red Hue. And I love how they're slightly different colors. And let's see, that's probably, is this the one I just swatched? Is it? I think I could do a little mark next to it. I think it is. So I think that this color here kind of falls between those two colors. Yeah, maybe it's a little closer to that one. The next color is not the one I just did, right? Permanent red, yeah. This is Cornelian? Cornelian. Think of Cornelius from Planet of the Apes. And then that's kind of close to this guy, which is Vermilion. Boy, they feel very similar, which will be nice if you're looking to expand the range of your Neocolor ones. And then art stick wise, let's see, it's probably close to this color here. This one's a little bit lighter. Actually, this one's closer to the Neo 1 color than the closer to the NeoArt versus the Neocolor 2, Neocolor 1. Oh my word. But you know, they're all falling in a pretty similar bracket, so if you didn't really care about the Lightfastness issue because you're just using it in sketchbooks, or you know, you're a sane person who doesn't have to have every crayon, then you're probably going to be just fine. But I'm not having any regrets yet. This is Saffron. Oh, this one feels really soft. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Okay, is there a color like that? I think maybe this, oh, I don't know. I don't think there's a real direct comparison for that one, maybe. I wonder what the Lightfastness on this one is. Maybe it's on the wrapper and I'm just not seeing it, but, what's this one called? Flame Red is a 3-star. Excellent Lightfastness, it says. So, that's interesting. But look at that. They're nice and distinct. You could definitely have like a step difference in color there. And now let's try this as, is it more like, maybe not. Maybe it's more like, it might be a little bit more like this one, but this seems a little bit more saturated. Again, 3 distinct colors though, so I'm not mad about that. The next color is orange. Oh, this one's really nice and smooth too. So far, it's been those darker reds that have had the most crumbliness. And then we want a nice bright orange, which is also called orange. But it's a lighter tone. It's more of a yellow. Yeah, this is my Neo ones are feeling a little drier, but I'm wondering if I had a fresh crayon right out of the, right out of the factory, if it might feel like identical. Let's see, I need an orange to go there, kind of a light orange color. I think I just used this one though. But you know what? It does look like that would be the match for that. So why don't I take the other orange that I have. That's a closer match to that. I'm liking the color scheme so far. All right, next one is golden cadmium yellow hue. Oh, this one's really smooth. I wonder if it's something kind of like with colored pencils, if a color has more white in it, it feels much more creamy. I think this one's going to match the next one more, so let me, yeah, I don't think I have a color in the art sticks. Oh, actually, maybe this one might be close in art sticks here. Still a little bit darker. So that's a nice unique color. So now let's do the next one, which is just called yellow. Oh, that feels nice. Now let's try this one, which is just called yellow. They don't feel terribly. Oh yeah, I was gonna swatch from the back end, but I don't think it really matters. And then let's get our nice bright yellow from Art Stix and see how much those differ. I should be doing this on white paper actually, maybe. Very similar, but we can see how opaque they are anyway on this this pan. Very, very similar, very similar. Okay, the next color we have is Primrose. That's really pretty. I might need, maybe I should have that over near the white. I don't know. It looks just like a cream here. Very pretty. I like that. Let's see what we have. I think our closest might be this Sahara Yellow. Let's try that. Oh, let's try it from the other end. That's way more yellow. That's not really a great match. That might be a better match for... Well, no, there's no color that's exactly like that. Actually, I'm happy that they're not matches because I want to have variety. If anything I'd want to match would be the ones that have poor Lightfastness in the Neocolor 1 range. I like that. Okay, and then what do we have? We've got this cream color that I think will actually be pretty close. That's quite close. I prefer the NeoArt just because it's a little bit more opaque. It seems to lay down a little bit softer too. The art sticks from Prismacolor are actually quite hard considering they're supposed to be the lead from Prismacolor pencils. It feels like the lead in a Prismacolor pencil is softer in my opinion, but it could just be how it feels. I don't know. But I think they probably had to make them harder so they didn't break because the leads are so fragile. And then we've got, did I already do that one? Lemon Yellow. I guess I have not. And I should swap those two colors around. Oh, that's a really gorgeous lemon. It's very opaque. Oh, I like that. I'm going to swap those though. And then, yes, I have a lemon yellow here. The lemon yellow, I don't know if it picks up on camera or not, but the lemon yellow from the Neocolor ones looks almost neon, but it does have a 3-star rating. So, does anybody know, I should probably just email Caran and ask them what that 3-star correlates with. Is it like a blue wool scale, 7 or 8? Is it or 6, or is it a Lightfastness of 1 or 2? I mean, I wonder exactly how it correlates. And there's the Prismacolor Lemon, which is a little bit more muted. It feels less neon, but also a little bit more muted. Very similar to that color, but just a little bit less vibrant. Okay, the next color we have is this beautiful May green, or spring green. And spring green, the yellow green in Neocolor 1 has a 2 Lightfastness rating, which is not as good as the 3. And this one is a Lightfast 1. Oh, I wonder if there's pigment information on here while I'm at it. Let's take a look. And it doesn't mean they don't have it public, it just means it's not on the wrapper. And maybe if I ordered the box set, it would have a brochure that has Lightfastness information, not Lightfastness information, pigment information. So if anybody out there has the box set, could you let me know if that contains Lightfast information? Like the pigment information, I mean. So I'm going to use this yellow green here, which actually is a shade darker. So I'm loving that there's not like too many exact matches. I think that's kind of cool. The next one, I want to find a art stick. Is it? See, the art stick, that one. Well, see, I've got a version of each, it seems like. That one's more like the Caran Neocolor 1. NeoArt, oh my word. NeoArt. Let's hope they're not training AI on this video. And then we got this one here that is more similar to the Neocolor 1. Actually, so before this is too scandalous, yes, I know these are practically new because I have a well-loved set of 24. I bought the 48 set and then they got discontinued, so I was like, oh my precious, I can't use them. But I've been using them. But anyway, they wear down very slowly and I need to use them more. Just like the story of my every supply. Okay, next color. Excuse me. Next color is grass green. That's kind of like your bright St. Patrick's Day green. And that feels pretty good. Greens can be a little iffy. Greens can sometimes feel kind of like streaky and less nice. I don't know why, but with like a pastels, sometimes your greens are just streaky and scratchy and not very nice. Definitely drier feeling. And those two match pretty good. What's this one called? Grass green. And what was that one called? Grass green. Well, that makes sense. Okay, let's find one in Prismacolor. Gosh, you know what? I'm not seeing, that's like the most basic green in the world, and I'm not seeing it in my art sticks. So what would be the closest? That's so funny. For like all the greens in the art sticks, it doesn't have that just kind of like basic kind of Kelly green color. So I guess this one. But that also looks like it might be similar to another one we have down the line, but I'm just going to go with this because it's the closest that I have. Now this, the art sticks green feels smoother than those two, for whatever it's worth. Okay, next color we're going to do is, what is this? Moss green. Oh, that feels really nice. That's got a nice, smooth, creamy feeling to it. And I have olive green in Neocolor 1, dark olive, I should say. That's very similar. Maybe a little less saturated, maybe a little bit darker and a little less saturated, but very, very similar. So if you have the Neocolor ones, and the Neocolor ones have been a screaming deal, they are way cheaper than these. I found a deal for them on Amazon for like $54 for the set of 40. So it's like $1.30 or something per stick versus, you know, $3.10 if you don't have a coupon. All three, they're distinct shades. Those two are very similar, but it's kind of nice to have the variety. But I'd say that the Art Stix does not feel as nice as the Neo ones and the Neo Arts for that color. It's funny how pigments and stuff can make a color feel better or worse, or if it has like white in it, how it can just feel a little creamier. Now this is deep phthalo green. Wow, that's like Black Forest black. Look at that. That is almost a black. Very smooth though. That feels really nice. Do we have anything like that? Gosh, I don't have anything like that in the Neocolor ones. So if you, and as I'm going through and noting between these colors, if you wanted to keep a notebook and like maybe you have the full Neo 1 range and you're like, I just want to get the colors that are markedly different, then you can kind of pick and choose that way. But if you have art sticks and Neo ones, you might be like, I don't really need a darn thing. Thanks for confirming that, Lindsay. Hey, you're welcome. This is a distinct green. It's much more green. It's like a hunter green. And it, you know, is more saturated than the dark phthalo green, which is almost black there. It must have a lot of black in it. But again, I like the variety. Maybe I should take my art sticks and put them in this drawer. I don't know. I tend to organize and reorganize things. It's a hobby of mine. Next color is, looks like a khaki. It is olive brown, 50%. Probably very similar to the color of this paper. That has a really nice feel to it. I kind of wondered when I opened these boxes, I was like, because they look so much bigger in like the box sets that I saw online. I'm like, I'm wondering if you get bigger pastels if you buy the box set, but that can't be true. I can't imagine that's right. Okay, so I don't think I have anything quite like that color. I think that one's kind of its own thing. Okay, that's kind of its own thing. And do I have anything like that in the art sticks? Gosh, not really. Not really. So that's a really nice, unique color if you're looking to just get something a little different. Did I do this one yet? This one is dark English green. That's a pretty good feel for a green, in my opinion. And that one is kind of similar to this, I think. Emerald green. Oh, emerald green is much lighter, actually. Feels a little drier. Yeah, definitely a distinct color. Maybe we have, I bet we have something quite similar in, yep, this is very similar in the art stick here. I wonder if we're going to find that the art stick range has most of the colors that you would, you know, you'd find in both of these. Yeah, and like this art stick color is kind of similar to the Neocolor one. Interesting. Okay, now we have, this is a really pretty color. It's called Cobalt Green. Oops, I got something on there. Oh wow, that's really pretty. And it's really smooth because of the, oh, it's got the white in it. That's really nice. Do we have, I don't have anything like that in the Neo ones. We do have something similar in the art sticks though. It's a little bit more yellow though, so again, I'm happy for the variety. And then this color here, isn't that gorgeous? That is light malachite green. It's almost like a robin's egg blue. Won't that be pretty for like springtime projects? Oh, that's gonna be really nice for a springtime project. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty. Oh my gosh. And let's see, our closest color, which is actually really close to the next color, is turquoise blue. What's that one called? Chrysola blue? I think it's more close to that. I guess I don't have a direct color for that one in the Neocolor, but let's see. Do I have something? Gosh, you know what? I don't think I really do in the, I don't really in the art sticks either. That's a really nice, unique color. So that one was called turquoise blue, or no, light malachite green. Yeah, I don't really have anything that's that similar. Maybe this one in the art stick, but it's going to be darker. Yeah, it's like a darker version, but those two are going to blend so well together that no complaints here. Okay, the next color we have is the Chrysola blue. Actually, that's quite similar, just a little bit more blue leaning than the other one's a little more green leaning. And then we've got the turquoise blue from Neo 1. Very similar. I think the Neo one's a little bit darker. And then I think we have something very similar in Art Stix too. This color looks to be quite similar, maybe a little bit darker still. But that one's a little bit closer to the Neocolor, but very nice. Okay, now we have the ice blue. This one feels softer, just in my hand. I think I'll probably swatch these off camera on like white too, just to, maybe I will, I don't know. I'm not a huge swatcher, to be honest. That ice blue looks quite turquoisey, like a deep turquoisey, kind of like this color here, which is malachite green. Maybe? This one looks a little bit greener, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, that's way greener. Well, why don't we try this color then? That's a little bit closer, but still not the same. That one is called Cobalt Blue. And let's see what we have for Prismacolor. I bet we'll have something a little bit similar, maybe? Try that one. I don't know, this one looks like it might be a little bit more... That's pretty close. Yeah, that's pretty close, but it's a little bit more greeny, I would say. Of course, it doesn't really matter if you can't get Art Stix anymore, but I'm sure people have them. Okay, next color is Night Blue. It's a really dark navy. Very pretty. This is Prussian blue. I'm kind of wondering if we're going to have a Prussian blue. No, I don't see a Prussian blue, so this might be pretty close. Oh, that's very close. Very close in feel and in tone. I would say they're a match. Now, Prussian blue, that's got a 3-star Lightfastness rating on the Neocolor one. I tend to want to check the ones that are exact matches to see, like, if it's warranted to go ahead and get the other one. I think this is that a, yeah, that's a really dark navy blue. It's darker than what we have here, but again, I'm happy because I can blend them. I have options. Okay, the next color we have is, and my fingers are getting dirty from these, so I mean, while they are a hard pastel, they still do transfer. This is Cobalt Blue 10%. So cobalt blue with white. Oh, that's really nice. Look how opaque that is. Oh, that's nice and soft. Okay, that one is similar to this one. This is light blue. Not an exact match, but similar. And then let's see. Gosh, that looks awfully similar to this kind of periwinkle color here. I don't feel like you need quite as many colors in a crayon product as you do a colored pencil because it's so much easier to lay down color. Yeah, that one. This one's lighter, even lighter still. I wonder about this one, this color right here, maybe. This one's more green. I feel like that one has a little bit more violet to it. Not an exact match, which actually I'm pretty happy about. Okay, next color is, this looks like an ultramarine. Yeah, ultramarine. This has a little bit of a sticky feeling to it. Got a little drag to it. Let's do the ultramarine in the Neocolor one. I think this color is a little bit nicer than the Neocolor one. It's it doesn't have that stickiness. It feels a little drier, and it is a little bit more purple compared to the NeoArt Ultramarine. And let's see. And this is the art stick version, which looks very nice. Very similar to the Neocolor one. I also have another, this looks like a deep ultramarine here, which I'll just swatch out there. Oh, that's way darker. That's way more purple. It's probably not an ultramarine, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, next color is, I really like these pastels. This is Cobalt Blue 5%. And so it would have more white in it. So it's kind of written like a pastel would. That's really pretty. That would be nice in a sky, like if you're working down from dark, medium, and light in the sky. And do we have a color like that? This one is like cobalt blue, so we'll give this a try. This is very similar, but the NeoArt light cobalt blue has a more of a violet tint, and this is more of a green tint, so the undertones are different. And then, do I have anything like that? I don't have anything that light in the Prismacolor. Let's try this. I think that might even been the color I put there. And it is darker. It's a darker shade, yeah, it is that one. So nothing exactly the same in the Art Stix, which I'm glad. In the Art Stix, the biggest set they ever came out with was 48. So, and sometimes you can find them at independent stores because they had a stock of them and they're still available open stock. So that's always an option. All right, now we're getting into our purples, and this is violet. Oh, this feels nice. This is very smooth. I can't wait to do an artwork with these. Very pretty. And let's see. I have a couple purples here in the Neo range. There's one called Violet. That would be a good place to start. This one's called Violet, so let's give this a whirl. This is darker. Just a smooth, but those would blend nicely together. You can just see what this one would look. Oh, you know? Huh, I wonder, this one looks like it might be actually closer. It's kind of like in between. Now let's look at the Lightfast ratings of the Neo one in those colors. Lilac has a Lightfastness rating of 2. Violet has a Lightfastness rating of 3. It kind of makes me distrust the Lightfastness ratings on those just because it's hard to make Lightfast crayon products and pencil products. But, I mean, I don't know, Caran knows their stuff. I guess I shouldn't be judging. And let's find a color that's similar in Art Stix. That's very similar. Art Stix are drier, absolutely for sure. Let's see. This is Manganese Violet. Oh, that's got a nice, well, it's smooth and buttery, but it's also got a little bit of a stickiness to it. My son came home from school one day, and when he was little, he's grown up now, but when he was little, he came home with a joke, and he said, "Mama, what's brown and sticky?" And I didn't know if I wanted the answer to that joke, but he goes, "A stick." And I thought that was funny. All right, do I have a color like that in Prismacolor? The closest I'm going to come up with, I think, is this guy. Oh, actually, that is pretty close. That is pretty close to the NeoArt. Yeah, that is close. I'm surprised because it looks like it would be a lot darker, but that's pretty close. Okay, now we have got, this is like a gray lavender color, violet gray. That's nice. Oh, that feels really good too. It's really soft and smooth. I like that. Okay, do we have that? We don't really have a color like that in the Neocolor ones. And really don't have a color like that in the Art Stix. So that's another one to grab if you're looking for an addition to expand your set. Slate gray. And I'm oohing and ahhing over these, but I know not everybody likes a water resistant wax pastel. So if you don't like that type of material, you're not going to like this. These aren't magic. They're not going to make rainbows and sparkles come out of your artwork. It's, you know, you've got to know what you like. Slate gray. Let's see. That looks kind of like this. This is just called gray. I think that's probably our closest option. And it's about a shade lighter, but it feels nice and smooth and very similar. Again, that's a Neocolor one. So far, I'm thinking if you're not if like you're not really caring about the Lightfast too much, you just want the best bang for your buck, I think I would say, I don't have a gray art stick, wow. I have silver. I think I would say for the best bang for your buck, go for the, that's neat, I've never used a silver art stick before. Go for the Neocolor 1 set and then get the colors that aren't available in the set, open stock in the NeoArt range. I think that would give you probably the best bang for your buck. But, you know, if you really want those highly Lightfast colors because you're a colored pencil artist and you're selling your work for thousands of dollars and you want to absolutely make sure it doesn't fade, then yeah, it's worth the investment. But, I mean, and this is just my first opinion, my first impression. Let's see. So I didn't have that slate gray, didn't have a match in the art stick or the Neocolor one. Payne's Gray 30%. By the way they're naming these, I'm thinking, I bet they're going to come out with more if these are popular. Ooh, that feels really nice and buttery. I like that a lot. I like the crayons because I can use them with my colored pencils and I can lay down a lot of color at once. Let's see, I think that might be close to light gray, maybe? I don't know. Payne's Gray. I feel like there's way better gray assortment here in the NeoArt than in the Neocolor. Neocolor maybe has more of a palette that's vibrant for younger people, maybe kids. And the NeoArt is more a sophisticated palette for professional artists. I think I did that color already. And that was kind of close to that. I don't think I have a match for that one because I think this one's going to be more like the next color. And I don't have grays in this is great because I don't have grays in the art sticks at all. So let's try this silver gray. Oh, that feels so nice. So smooth. And then let's compare that to light gray in Neo 1, which is a little bit darker actually. So this one kind of falls between those two colors. So there you go. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. And our grays in the Neocolor ones are all good. They all have good ratings. So yeah, the ultramarines have the worst ratings out of the whole bunch. And lilac. But I'm actually surprised at how good the pinks and reds are doing, according to the Lightfast rating on the Neocolor 1 literature. Okay, what are we at? We're at white. Oh, that's a nice white. Let's try the Neocolor white, which is probably dirty because I was just using it. Oh, you know what? I think the Neocolor, the NeoArt white is more opaque and smoother than the Neocolor 1 white. And then let's try an art stick white. Find a clean edge here. And I just want to look at the undertones here because I'm just seeing if they have different undertones. Sometimes you have a white that's a little bit cooler, and sometimes you have a white that's a little bit warmer. Those look all about the same. And let's try black. Oh, that's so opaque and smooth. Let's do a Neocolor 1 black. Again, that's also really nice and smooth. Now, I'm just looking at the undertones. Maybe the NeoArt black is a slightly warmer undertone, and the NeoArt black is a slightly warmer undertone, and the Neocolor 1 white has maybe a little bit more of a neutral. They're pretty close. I don't know if you'd really pick it apart, if you really tell that much. Oh, and yeah, let's do the art stick black. Let's see how that compares. It's a little shinier, a little waxier. Yeah, I like the NeoArt black better than the other three. All right, now we have bismuth white, which has a little bit of a greenish yellow undertone. It's not as opaque as the NeoArt white, and yeah, it's just a little bit more sheer. Gosh, I don't really have a good dupe for that color in either of them. The closest would be this ivory that I've already swatched over there. Is this really close to that that primrose color. Yeah, it's definitely closer to the primrose color than that. All right, we're gonna go over into another page here. I'm gonna brush off the crumbs. And where did we leave off? We left off at the, and I'm just gonna write down so I don't forget. We've got NeoArt, Neo 1, and we've got Art Stix. And we are using the butternut. Oh, that's a pretty color. Butternut. Oh, that's lovely. I think this range is going to be really nice for people that like to do pet portraits. So do I have anything like butternut? I don't really have anything well, maybe this color here. This Sahara yellow. It's a little bit too yellow. So that's one that's new. That's one that you're not going to find in the Neo 1. I kind of wonder if there were more colors in Neo 1 at one time, because I seem to remember there being like 80 colors, but maybe that's like a mandala effect. Because it seems like there used to be more colors. Gosh, I don't think I have a color like that in the Art Stix. I don't have a color like that in Neo 1. So butternut, that's a nice unique color if you're looking for one. Ochre, burnt ochre, 10%. Ooh, that's a pretty kind of peachy apricot color. Oops, why did I color that twice? Do I have anything like that? Maybe. Gosh, not really. That's not really that close to that. What about in Art Stix? This, like a really pale pink color, looks like it would be similar. It's a little bit cleaner, but similar. And it's hard to see that on this tan paper. Poor choice, Lindsay, poor choice. Then we've got burnt ochre. Oh, that's nice. I bet with the earth tones and the grays, these would be good for, and the greens and the blues, landscapes, portraits, wildlife. I think it's a really well thought out collection. All right, Neocolor one, let's try this, was that salmon? That one's way brighter. Yeah, that's quite a bit brighter. Yeah, the other browns are really dark. Let's see, that one actually looks kind of similar to this. That's kind of in between those two. Not the same, but that's good. I like having the unique colors. And what did we say that was? That was burnt ochre. The next color is Herculanum red. I've never heard of that color before. Not that that means much. That's quite similar to that color and kind of similar to that color. Yeah, I think that's like the color I just swatched from Art Stix. Not exactly though, but actually, gosh, you know what? That's actually pretty close. It's not exact, but it's very close. And let's just swatch that peach color again. This is salmon. It's a more vibrant color, so not a match. And then what do we have here? We have terracotta. Oh, I love a terracotta. Oh, so smooth. I feel like I'm reviewing wine. It's so smooth. It's got a lovely bouquet. Actually, it has no smell at all. It has no bouquet. I don't really have a color match. Maybe this? Maybe. That's pretty close. A little darker. This is sanguine. What was that one called? You know what? I think that we do have sanguine. Now, okay, hold on. We got the sanguine here in the NeoArt. That is way redder than that sanguine from the Caran Neo 1. All the Neos. let's see, do we have a match? I bet we do have a match for that in Prismacolor, because Prismacolor is a great, like, sanguine and terracotta colors. Oh, not really, though. That's not really the same. What's this one? That looks so very similar. Did I get two of the same color in there? Maybe I do. I could have mixed up my sets, honestly. That wouldn't surprise me. Not at all. Let's try this one. Yeah, they're not matches. I'm not mad about that. I'm actually pleased. Okay, next, we've done terracotta, we've done sanguine. Now we have burnt sienna. Ooh, that's very opaque and dark. I like that. It's actually, reminds me a little bit more of a burnt umber when I swatched out, but on the stick itself it does have that more of a reddish tone that I can see. I'm trying to read this is burnt sienna here. It's a warmer color, a lighter color in the Neo one. And let's find our closest thing. Oh, that's not as red. Let's try. Yeah, that's really dark. So not an exact match. What about this one? Oh, that one's a little closer. Yeah, that one's probably kind of close there. Oh, we got 4 more to go, guys. You with me? You sleep if you're sleeping. I hope you have good dreams. If you've fallen asleep by now, I don't blame you. This one is sepia. Or sepia. Nice blackish brown color. And I think we might have, do we have that? We have Toledo brown, but that does not look. No, that's much browner. We do have a similar color here in Art Stix, I think, but yeah, that Art Stix is a pretty close color to that, but that's more opaque because it's softer, I think. Next up, we've got raw umber. That's not a color I use that often, to be honest. I find it kind of a meh color, but I bought it anyway because, you know, go big or go home, right? This looks like, this is raw umber, and it appears to be a little bit darker than the NeoArt version. This is the Neocolor, it's a little bit darker. Oh, and you can pause, like if you are curious about the Lightfastness rating of these and you want to pause your video and read them, you can go ahead and do that. I'm sure this is probably online somewhere on the Caran website, but maybe that will be helpful. And let's see, I want to find, do I have a raw umber? Gosh, you know what? I don't. I think the gold is probably the closest. Maybe, or maybe this color here. That's probably the closest. And the gold is metallic, so that really doesn't count. I don't really use metallic pastels that much. Ooh, a splinter. All right, here we have ochre. A lovely yellow ochre color. Oh, that's nice. That's nice and smooth. The earth tones feel less crumbly than the more vibrant tones. Let's see. This is ochre in the Neocolor one. Boy, that's a pretty good match. I wouldn't think you'd need both of them, and the ochre has a 3-star Lightfast rating, so it's probably all you need. And here we have an art stick. And that is very similar. I think the art stick might be a little bit more saturated, a little more vibrant, but pretty darn close. And then last but not least, we have brown ochre. Yeah, they really went to town on the neutral tones in this set. But I'm sure they were trying to get the needs of like commissioned artists and portrait artists that would be selling their work. That's probably their top priority, because who's going to pay top dollar for a pastel? It's going to be the people that are selling their work. Like, that's not even close. So the brown ochre doesn't have a direct match in the Neocolor ones. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I have a couple colors in the art sticks that are the kind of ochre colors. Yeah, not an exact match though. Yeah, so that's another unique color. So we have got colors. We have got colors up the wazoo. Should we try our like Swiscolors here? These are super cheap. Actually, this is a good set. These are like $10 at Blick. These are I hope these are the Swiscolors and not the water soluble ones. I think so. These, oh look at that. That's a pretty good match. They are the kids version of the Neocolor ones, and they also make a version of the Neocolor 2s, and they are quite lovely. They seem very identical to me. It makes me think that they just did half sticks of their most popular colors to get people introduced to the range. I mean, they'll say that they're more Lightfast because they're, you know, the Swiscolor, that the Neocolor range would be more Lightfast, just because, I don't know. I think they feel identical, but that's a great way. I feel like you could buy these and you could work with them and see if you like the feel of this type of product, because they feel pretty much the same. And I would say they feel and they lay down identically. So spending $10 trying something like this and see what you think before spending, or if you just want it for sketchbook work and you just want that limited amount of colors, because it's so similar and the color range is beautiful. It's got like all the best colors. Well, I like bright colors, so that's probably why I say that. But that's a really great way to kind of try before you spend a lot of money. Try before you overbuy. But I say this and look at me. Take my advice, not my experience. I mean, look at that ultramarine. How gorgeous is that? And I mean, they feel so similar that I don't think that you would be, I don't think it would be a poor, oh, look how opaque that is. I don't think it would be a poor substitute for the fact of just trying them out. Because if you can like, okay, so if you buy these and you end up buying the NeoArts because you love them, okay, so you spend an extra $10. But if you buy these and you try and be like, oh, I don't think I like this, then you've just saved yourself $100 or whatever, however many you were going to buy. So that would be my recommendation. Same thing with the Neocolor 2s. They make a set of 15, like this is 15 colors, I think. They make a 15 set of the the Swiscolor water soluble ones that are like dupes of the Neocolor 2s. They feel identical to me. They swatch out identically to me. It's just a great way to try on a budget and not really be missing out on anything, I think. But anyway, I'm thrilled that there's so many unique colors, and I cannot wait to make some artwork with them. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, you know what though? Before I do that, I think I'm going to grab my Luminance pencils and maybe just do some little tiki swatches in there and see how much similarity there is between those. So the Luminance also says 6901 on them, just like the NeoArt pastels, but that refers to the Lightfast testing that they had done on these. That's very expensive, so you don't see the Lightfastness testing done on many products. I mean, you don't see the ASTM Lightfastness testing done, oh my word, on many products. So that's why they have that same series on it. It has to do with the test that was performed. And I don't have all the Luminance pencils. I think I'm maybe missing 4, but I've got the portrait set and the set of 76. And let me tell you, we've discussed my art supply problem before, but these pencils are top notch. They're really beautiful. But I tend to go for, I wish the whole barrels were colored, because it's just how quickly can I choose my colors. And that's why I'm always reaching for Prismacolors, because the whole barrel is colored. It's so much faster for me to work that way. So if I had one thing I could change about pencils in general, like the Derwent Lightfast, another favorite brand, their very similar to this with just a little color on the end, and it just takes me so much longer to find the colors I need, and it kind of bums me out, makes me not use them much, but I'm going to. I mean, I bought these so I would use them. I'm going to. It's just, that's why I don't. And yes, I have a problem with art supplies. All right, so what I'm going to do is just kind of work through and try to find the most similar colors. This color here is rose. Oh yeah, I think this might be the same color. But you know what? I'm not going to be reading those tiny little colors. Very similar. It's hard to say. It's hard to say how they feel because when you're working with something that's sharp, it's not going to color down the same as something that's dull. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say how they feel. Let's see, this one, it looks like one of these two maybe. I'm kind of glad it's only 48 colors because, you know, I could look at that color and see what that was. See if the color's Perylene Maroon, Crimson Aubergine, Maroon, Perylene Brown. Gosh, it's probably that one, maybe. Carmine Lake, that looks awfully similar. I think that I'm just gonna eyeball it. Was that the same name? Rose Violet. Rose something. Violet pink and rose. There's violet pink and there's rose something, so maybe they're not exactly. Oh, that's awfully close. 583? 583. Oh, numbers match. 583, 583. Okay. Oh, well, there we go. I'm so smart. I'm looking smart. Looking smart today. Bub. 585. Okay. Well, look at this. 585. Huh. Now this one looks to me a little bit darker than that same color. But I'm kind of happy that the numbers match. I think that's going to be something that's helpful. Not that I'm reading these numbers, because let me tell you what, these are so small. I was just complaining about the size of the lead. I mean the size of the color swatch on there. Yeah, I'm not going to be matching things. But these are both the same color according to the. Yeah, those look really close. I'm sure the formulation's a little bit different. But you know what's kind of cool is that you could do the base of just a kind of the grainy color, and then you can kind of burnish and blend it out with a pencil, because look at that. That's just like, but you've taken so much work out of the way by just laying down that grainy color, and you can spread it around with a pencil. The pencils do feel a little harder to me than the crayons, which is to be expected, I guess. Huh. Well, I'll be darned. They match. Hard to believe this expensive product actually meant. I'm too used to using budget stuff, I think, that I'm like, what? The numbers are the same? Well, knock me over with a feather. Let's see, 580. 580, 580. This is probably the most boring video you've ever seen, but you're asleep by now, I'm sure, so have a good dream about buying art supplies. Do I need to do this for all of them? They clearly match. They clearly had a plan. Apparently, the folks at Caran planned this whole thing so that their pastels match the pencils. Breaking news, guys. I'm so glad I uncovered this mystery by sleuthing. 70. Right here. Oh my gosh, this is too easy. It's too easy. Color's right there. And they match pretty darn well. But you know what? I think that this is going to work out really well for me, because I'll just do my lazy blocking in and then go over with pencils and blend it in, and that will be delightful. Alright. Okay, clearly I don't need to match all these. They match. So what I think I'm going to do is go do some artwork. I'm going to have some fun with these, and then I'll come back in and give you a recap, show you the artwork I made, and give you my final thoughts on these beautiful pencils, because or beautiful crayons, because so far I'm liking them, and we'll see what I think after I create. It's 8:39 in the evening, and I just wanted to pop in really quick because I have to say, after I swatched these, I was kind of overwhelmed. I didn't know what I wanted to sketch, everything, you know, I was just like, oh, I want to do something really good. And then finally I'm like, you know what, I just couldn't, I was like frozen. And so I took this little tray upstairs, I took my sketchbook upstairs, and I said, okay, I'm just going to sketch whatever I can see. I have a cyclamen plant that my husband got me for Valentine's Day, and I thought I would just start sketching, and I did. And how I thought I was going to like using these the most so far, right off the bat, are not how I like using them. The look that I liked the best was actually this like 30-second little bud that I drew down here, just like with a bold red, like kind of purpley red color, and then added some highlights in it. I love that, just like kind of sketchy and loose. I love the leaves, how they came out here, just kind of like grainy. I like that look with the grain of the paper, and like I did the light colors and kind of made it resist without really. It was this color right here, this primrose, and then I just kind of scumbled over that with this olivey color, olive brown 50%. And no, I'm sorry, no, I used this color here, I think. I used that color. And then I used some of that dark phthalo green and the shadow, and I really like that look. I think that with these, I'm going to like sketching large and loose with them. And at first, and I was thinking that I probably wouldn't take these out of the house, but you know, I think I would like doing landscapes and figure drawing with this. So, and 48 colors isn't overwhelming, and I probably wouldn't bring them all, but one thing that when I was doing these cyclamen though, I was thinking, oh man, I wish I had, and I probably spent the most time on that one. I'm like, the color's not that saturated. I wish I had some brighter pinks like what I have in the Neocolor range, because that's one thing I'm noticing with this, is that the color, like I didn't have as saturated pinks as I would have had in Art Stix. Like in Art Stix, I have quite a few pinks because with Prismacolor, they focus on bright colors, not necessarily light fast colors. With the Caran Neocolor ones, they do have I got my robe on. They do have light fast ratings. I don't know how much a 3 rating. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I did with my hand there. It looks like I bruised it, but it could be pastel. Probably crayon. I don't know what that correlates with, but I did email Caran. I'm hoping they will email me back and let me know what those Lightfast ratings on the Neo ones correlate to. And also I want to know if these are going to get discontinued. Now in the sketching, like the sketchiness, I feel like these feel like a little bit more maybe bolder and pigmented, and that could just be the shape versus the Neocolor ones. And I like the feeling of them. Even though I don't think I'm going to end up using them the way that I wanted to. Like I did go crisp up some lines. I just brought my small little set of Luminance upstairs with me, just so I could do an edge here and there if I wanted to. And I used it to blend. I used it for blending as well. And I didn't really like that as much as just kind of going for it and keeping it loose with the sticks themselves. So that's just my first impression so far. I'm happy that I got them, absolutely. But I'm not using them the way that I thought that I would like using them. But then again, this is just my first impression. I don't know how long this review is going to take me to do, because I want to do these justice. They're an expensive product, and I don't want people to charge in blind like I did and buy something that might not suit them. I really want to see what they can do, but I think the style that I'm going to enjoy the most with them is this. I really like that, and I really like this, and I want to explore that a little bit more. But I did want to pop in while I was excited and give you my freshest thoughts while it's new to me. So we'll see you in the next clip with who knows what. I'm back here for final thoughts. Obviously, if you watched this video all the way through, or you caught the first 16 minutes of it, you would have seen my full review of these products, the Neocolor, well, the comparison, and also the full review of the NeoArt 6901 pastels. Bottom line, I really like them. I heard back from Caran, like I said at the beginning of the video, so that gave me a boost of confidence in the brand. That was really my only downside of this whole of the whole review, was not hearing back from them. But they did get back to me and said yes, they are going to expand the range over time. The Lightfastness on these, the LF2 2s, which are the worst of these, are better than the Lightfast 3, which is the best of the NeoArt 1s. So if you had these and you just want to kind of upgrade, these would be an upgrade according to them. And they are not discontinuing the NeoArt 1s, so if you're happy with the NeoArt 1s and you're afraid they're going away, that should not be the case according to the rep from Caran. And I'm really pleased with them. I'm glad I bought them. Like I said, they were $3.10 on Blick, and that's the regular retail price, so I don't know if they'll be discounting them further if you wait a bit. But that's what they're going for now, and I do have some coupon codes in the video description. As of now, they are in the sale, the coupon eligible category, and you can save some more money on them. And I'll just go back over the value kind of proposition here. I did compare a crayon, a NeoArt crayon, a Neocolor 1 crayon, and a Luminance. The Neocolor 1 crayon is the best bang for your buck. You're good for $2. You're getting 5,818.86 cubic millimeters of product for $2. For the Neocolor, the NeoArt 1, you're getting 4,349.59 cubic millimeters of product for $3.10, or $2.79 or $2.69 if you use the coupon codes that I provided. And in Luminance, not accounting for sharpening, you are getting 1,984.7 cubic millimeters of product for $3.84. But when you factor in sharpening, you're gonna lose about half of your pigment unless you use a knife and you just whittle away the wood. But you're probably not doing that, otherwise you just buy the crayons. So if you account for sharpening, you are getting 4 times the product for less of the price with the NeoArt 1 of comparably Lightfast materials. They have the exact same Lightfast rating. So bang for your buck. The crayons are a better bang for your buck than the pencils, but I don't think you can do everything that you can do with the pencils with the crayons, you know, for getting detail and all of that. You do have to be careful if you want to block in colors with the crayons and then go in with detail with the pencils, because the pencils will have a bit of a difficult time sticking over that waxy surface. The pencils, and this is not sharp, the pencils feel much more chalky and dry compared to the crayons, which feel more creamy and smooth, just to kind of give you an idea. But look, I mean, I'm not getting a lot of grain, so you really could fill in an area with no grain with these if you want. Layering wise, I don't do a lot of layering. You can layer the crayons over each other pretty easily, but layering the pencil over the crayons is a little bit more tricky. See how it wants to resist a bit? I mean, it will, if you go lightly, it's going to resist pretty easily. But yeah, I mean, you can layer them up a bit. I mean, yeah, I guess you can layer them. Let's just go over a few and just, actually that was Luminance, never mind. Yeah, so this is layering the pencil over the Luminance, this is layering it over the Neocolor. They're not going to layer up anywhere near as much as the pencils will, so just to kind of give you the heads up there. Let's try it with a little bit of solvent here just to be completely fair and transparent. I've got this odorless mineral spirits here. I'm just going to grab a brush. Okay, so the NeoArt is in this first column. Yep, they will blend out. They will liquefy very well with the odorless mineral spirits if you want to do that. I didn't do that really with my artwork. I did actually, because odorless mineral spirits does not work well on the sand grain paper. It will leave a horrible stain, and it just kind of is very unpleasant. But I did use Dorland's wax actually to blend out my tabletop there. Excuse me, and that worked really well, but I didn't use the odorless mineral spirits because it isn't compatible with that paper, and because this paper's so smooth, I didn't feel a need to. I guess I could do that on some of the cyclamen area that I blended, that I used the Luminance and the crayons there. You could try that out. Yeah, it'll blend it. It'll blend it. I mean, it really does just feel kind of like the colored pencil lead with maybe a little bit of a smoothness to it. It feels kind of like a Prismacolor lead, to be honest. It feels just like the Neocolor 1 lead once you wear down the hard edges. So, I mean, you have a lot of options with this, but I don't want to oversell it because I know that this product is not going to be for everyone, and I know the disappointment of spending a lot of money on something, and it does get up there. If you're buying a bunch of these crayons, it does get up there, and then being disappointed in it because I'm not as excited about it. So, you know, you have to know, what do you like, right? If you're not sure if you like these, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, go with something like this because you'll get the feel of it, you'll get the performance of it. These perform exactly the same. You'll get to tell whether you like it or not before investing. And if you're like, I would love to try these crayons, but I really don't need something Lightfast, I'm just going to use it in a sketchbook, and it's not going to see the light of day constantly. Honestly, you're going to get more bang for your buck with these two products. So it really just depends on what you like. And if you like that, if you're happy with the color palette here, then wonderful. But there is a more sophisticated range. You do get a more, I would say, more grown-up looking range in some of the, not all of them, because some of them are very like candy box bright, with some of the more subtler tones and the earth tones and the grays. So if you're doing portraits or wildlife art, it's probably going to be worthwhile to grab a few of these colors. Only you can tell that for sure. I don't want you to spend money that you're not happy about. I want you to get the products that are going to serve you and help you make the art you want to make. So with that, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a long one, but I didn't want to rush it just to get a video out quickly and not really go in deep to what these pastels can do, because I respect your wallet. I'm happy with my purchase, but even if I wasn't, I would still do the review and try to show as unbiasedly as I can. But I'm happy with them, and I'll pick up the other colors when they come out, I think, because unless I find that I'm just absolutely can do everything I want with these colors and I don't feel a need for it. You know what though? Actually, because looking at like these two colors are so very similar, you know, you probably don't need all the colors. I don't know. There's something about having a complete set of something. I guess I'm just addicted. But there you have it. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this review. Share it with your friends. If you know anybody else that's interested in these pastels and this would help them, please share the link. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye!